Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring 5 watches that each represent the absolute pinnacle of what their respective manufacturers can achieve. Flagship timepieces and near-flagship expressions from 5 houses that have earned the right to demand serious collector attention through decades of consistent innovation, manufacturing excellence, and design integrity. These are not entry points or stepping stones. These are destinations. The watches that collectors work toward, save for, and ultimately wear with the particular satisfaction of knowing that what is on their wrist represents the best thinking of some of the most capable watchmakers in the world. From a solar-powered marine instrument of outstanding practical capability to the most celebrated spring-drive dial ever produced, this list rewards patience and ambition in equal measure. Let's get into it. Number 5. Citizen Promaster Marine BN0151. The Citizen Promaster Marine BN0151 is Citizen's most focused and most completely realized dive watch, a timepiece that strips the Promaster philosophy down to its essential core and delivers a professional marine instrument of outstanding clarity, outstanding capability, and the particular practical self-sufficiency that eco-drive technology uniquely enables in a tool watch context. The BN0151 specification reads with the directness of a watch that has thought carefully about what a dive instrument actually needs and declined to include anything it does not: 200-meter water resistance through construction of genuine engineering integrity, a unidirectional bezel of positive and reliable rotational action, luminous hands and indices of outstanding underwater legibility, and an eco-drive solar movement that powers the watch indefinitely from any available light source without battery anxiety or replacement scheduling. The ISO 6425 dive watch certification, a standard that requires demonstrated performance across a comprehensive battery of functional tests rather than simply stated water resistance ratings, gives the BN0151 a professional credibility that marketing language cannot substitute for, and that serious divers rightly treat as the meaningful distinction it is. The case construction in stainless steel or titanium, depending on configuration, carries a solidity and finish quality that reflects Citizen's manufacturing investment in the Promaster line as a genuine tool watch family rather than a sporty aesthetic exercise. The BN0151 is the dive watch for the person who goes in the water, needs their instrument to perform without question, and wants the additional assurance of never having to think about the battery. That combination of capability and self-sufficiency is genuinely rare at this price. The Citizen Promaster Marine BN0151 retails for approximately $295–450 USD depending on configuration. Number 4. Seiko Prospex SPB077. The Seiko Prospex SPB077 represents Seiko operating at the upper boundary of the Prospex range, a watch that brings manufacturer-level movement quality, exceptional finishing ambition, and a design elegance that transcends the utilitarian character of most tool watches into a package that competes confidently with Swiss alternatives at significantly higher price points. The SPB077 houses Seiko's Caliber 6R35, the manufacturer's most capable everyday automatic movement, delivering a 70-hour power reserve of outstanding practical convenience alongside hand-winding and hacking functionality that reflects the completeness of engineering investment that the Prospex upper tier consistently provides. The case finishing on the SPB077 represents a measurable and visible elevation above the standard Prospex range, tighter transitions between brushed and polished surfaces, sharper case edge geometry, a greater overall sense of manufacturing precision in every surface relationship that rewards the close examination that experienced collectors instinctively apply to watches at this price level. The dial, in the deep blue that Seiko's marine-themed Prospex references have made their own, carries applied indices of three-dimensional presence and a printed detail quality that reflects dial manufacturing operating at genuine craft level rather than production line efficiency, 200-meter water resistance, a unidirectional bezel of refined action, and sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating complete a specification that leaves nothing meaningful unaddressed. The SPB077 is the Prospex for the collector who has graduated beyond entry-level Seiko and wants to understand what the manufacturer is truly capable of when price constraints are relaxed and ambition is allowed to operate more freely. The Seiko Prospex SPB077 retails for approximately $1,100, around $300 USD. Number 3. Orient Star RE AV0003L. The Orient Star RE AV0003L is the watch that most completely reveals the gap between what Orient is capable of at its most ambitious and what the brand's reputation, unfairly anchored to its excellent but modest entry-level range, leads most collectors to expect. The Orient Star line has always represented Orient's finest manufacturing effort, and the RE AV0003L is among the most fully realized expressions of what that effort looks like when directed toward a retrograde complication of genuine mechanical complexity and outstanding visual drama. The retrograde date mechanism, in which the date hand sweeps forward across a curved scale before snapping instantaneously back to its starting position at the end of each month, is a complication that demands precise engineering of the spring and cam mechanism that drives and resets the hand, and Orient has executed that engineering with a smoothness and a snap of reset action that the mechanism's visible drama rewards with appropriate theater. The openwork dial architecture that exposes elements of the movement beneath the retrograde display adds a further dimension of mechanical engagement, inviting the wearer to observe the relationship between movement architecture and complication output in real time. The in-house Orient Star caliber provides the power reserve indicator that has become the line's signature feature alongside the retrograde mechanism, and the overall case finishing reflects the elevated manufacturing standards that the Orient Star designation represents within the brand's hierarchy. The RE AV0003L is Orient's most compelling argument for the proposition that Japanese watchmaking at its finest produces complications and finishing quality that the Swiss market has no monopoly on. The Orient Star RE AV0003L retails for approximately $800, $1,000 USD. Number 2. Casio Oceanus OCW T200S. The Casio Oceanus OCW T200S is Casio's most refined and most design-forward watch family, the line that answers the question of what Casio looks like when the engineering ambition of G-Shock and the connectivity intelligence of the premium connected range are combined with a design philosophy that prioritizes elegance, material sophistication, and wrist refinement over rugged toughness and visual aggression. The Oceanus has always occupied a unique space within Casio's catalog, a connected, solar-powered, radio-synchronized instrument dressed in the vocabulary of a luxury sport watch rather than the language of a tactical tool. And the OCW T200S is the most complete realization of that positioning the line has yet achieved. The case construction combines sapphire glass, fine resin, and titanium elements in a layered architecture of visual depth and material sophistication that no single material case can replicate. And the overall finishing quality, alternating brushed and polished surfaces resolved with a precision that reflects Casio's most careful manufacturing attention, produces a wrist presence of genuine premium character. Multi-band 6, atomic timekeeping synchronizes with radio signals across 6 global transmission stations for perpetually accurate timekeeping. Tough solar charging maintains the power supply indefinitely from available light, and Bluetooth smartphone synchronization provides an additional layer of connectivity and convenience for the modern professional wearer. The slim profile and refined bracelet architecture make the OCW T200S one of the most wearable, technically sophisticated watches in Casio's entire range, a watch that competes with Swiss sport watches on design and finish, while maintaining the connected accuracy advantages that Casio's technology platform uniquely provides. The Casio Oceanus OCW T200S retails for approximately $550 to $750 USD depending on configuration. Number 1. Grand Seiko SBGA211 Snowflake. The Grand Seiko SBGA211 Snowflake takes the top position on today's list because it is not merely the finest watch here, it is one of the finest watches produced by any manufacturer anywhere in the world at any price, and the quiet, meditative perfection it embodies represents Japanese watchmaking philosophy at its most completely and most profoundly realized. The Snowflake style is the starting point for any honest engagement with this watch and the place where its extraordinary character is most immediately and most powerfully communicated. Handcrafted from a textured material developed to replicate the surface of snow-covered birch forests surrounding Grand Seiko's Shinshu studio in the Japanese Alps, the dial does not merely represent winter, it evokes it, shifting from pale silver to deep white to the faintest blue depending on the angle of light and the position of the observer, alive and breathing in a way that no photograph has ever adequately captured and no mass-produced dial manufacturing process could approach. Each dial is subtly unique, the handwork of its creation ensuring that no two snowflakes are precisely identical, a form of quiet individuality that luxury watchmaking's most celebrated names often promise and rarely deliver with this degree of genuine conviction. The spring drive. Caliber 9R65 that powers the snowflake exists in a category of mechanical achievement that defies simple description. A movement that uses a traditional mainspring wound automatically by a rotor, but replaces the conventional escapement with a tri-synchro regulator that employs electromagnetic braking governed by a quartz oscillator to achieve an accuracy of plus or minus 1 second per day, a standard that surpasses every purely mechanical movement in the world and approaches the precision of quartz while retaining the energy source, the winding mechanism, and the emotional engagement of traditional mechanical watchmaking. The gliding seconds hand that this system produces moves with a smoothness so complete and so continuous that it appears to defy the discrete energy releases that all other escapements produce.